This is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 54. I just want to talk about the actual video that I did few videos ago. Remember when I mentioned that everything was boxes? Remember this? Right? And this is what it looks like. Forget about this. Don't worry about that. All right, it looks this is something else that I kind of add into, but what I want to show you is this particular one. What I did was I renamed it, of course, differently because I wanted to do something completely different. It's the same website. It uses the same PHP. Of course, this one had to change, right? Because you're looking at this guy. If you ran it, it would give you that error. Anyway, the point is that I remember showing you that you do globals, and this is all the functions that you need for you to run this particular website, right? You got your explanation, back button. You got your back button again, affiliation, of course. Then you got your rotating images, which is the little taking a long time because it's set up differently. And of course you got this, and then of course your website design, and then of course remember this that I showed you, right? All this stuff, right? And then you got your footer menu down there. But the point I'm trying to, let me just bring this back up, see if it does. Okay, what I wanted to do is to show you that like I mentioned before, that I was going to create another set of scripts that will create this website just using PHP. That's exactly what this is. It looks the same and everything, and even acts the same. Okay, so what I wanted to do was create this website using just PHP. Just PHP. The reason why I did that, and I'm going to put it in the link below so you can at least look at it. The reason why I looked at that, even though the PHP part of it is all the same, what I did was I made the HTML part of it into PHP. See, what I did was, remember this? We have the header, we have this, and so what I did was I created, look, your doc type, right? Remember that? I created, I put it between the PHP start and end tags. And of course, I created several variables, and I added all these little pieces, like this is the front part of it, into a variable. And to call this, you do this. You do the echo command that will call that variable, and that will put this in place. I did the same thing with the styles. See how I did that? This is a variable, put it in single quotes because everything else here is double quotes, right? And then just gotta make sure you close it up like this with the semicolon, and then you call it. And I just kept going at it. I did the nav, right, with the header and the nav, right? And again, you call it. So what you do is you put all these things inside a variable. It is a PHP variable, and when you echo that variable, it's going to echo whatever was in there. And since it's HTML stuff, the browser is going to look at it and it's going to do it. That's what the browser was made for, right? These are all treated like text anyway, so that's how that works. So then, remember the automatic menu? I kind of created it like it was. I made this into a separate file, which is this one right here. See, this is all HTML stuff, right? This is the original thing when I made the I made this particular part of your HTML into, well, I assigned it to this variable, and then I printed it out. Same idea. So what I did was I included. Remember I was talking about, I think we talked about the include at one point, and this is what you do. You include it, and it puts it right in there, and this is why we have this. right? Same thing with the footer when you have those menus. So I included it here. This cuts down on the load, right? And then I created again. I kept going at it, right? So I kept putting all HTML stuff into a variable, and you call it. See, this is how you do it. Same thing. I made this into HTML because this is the Jumbotron. So of course I created an array. I mean a variable called dollar Jumbotron, and then I signed all this stuff in there, and then what? You call it. See, because you're going to echo it, and that's what you see, bits by bits. Bits by bits. Bits by bits. That's what that does. See, you the same thing. See how I broke it down? This is what's part of that top part. So, of course, you have to put in a variable because you have to break it down. Now you don't need, I didn't have to need to have all this. I could have just taken all these things out and just did one original, like let's say this one, right? I could have just kept this one and then got rid of this one, got rid of this one. But I just wanted to I wanted to keep it separate, so I kind of kept it like that. But you just don't need to. You can just take that out and then take this out. Since this is PHP, this will be PHP. Of course, this will be PHP. You take this out and this out. This will be still PHP. So, but I kind of kept it separate because I didn't know if I wanted to put like some type of comments here about the different pieces. But you understand, right? Everything could be put in and assigned in within double or single quotes. Since I'm using double quotes in here, I gotta use the outside quote to be a single quote, and vice versa, right? So if you use double C, make sure everything is single in here. All right, so what do? You assign it to a variable, and then you call it up with the echo, and you just keep going. You just keep going. Now with this part, because it was already a PHP script, I just kept it like that. All you have to do is add everything. This part right here, I just kept it separate because I wanted to test something out, which I haven't finished testing. But the point is that I could have just put this also in a variable. I could have just put this in here and then just put it in a variable and then call it up again, right? Because when you put something in a variable, for you to use it, you have to call it, meaning that you have to echo it or print it out. Just like a function, you create a function, then you have to call the function for it to run. So I did the same thing here, then I did it here. This I just kept it the way it is. It's okay. But I could have just put, again, into a PHP. Now, same thing here. See, remember the comments had a bunch of comments? And I just kept going at it. I just go like this and completed it with this in semicolon, right? And then call it up. And that's it. Just keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. And then once I got to the bottom part, let's get to the bottom. The model, the same thing, right? Just keep running and it works. I mean, where are we? Where's the other ones? Here's the picture. Oh, like right here, look. See, it worked. And then, let me see, when we get to the part right here that I run it, okay, it does that. I did the same thing here. And then once we came here, because we still had all this PHP stuff, of course, I kept it the same. And then the same thing here, right? I kept it the same. Then I added another variable with all these little things. Then I called it because I'm calling this one, which is here, and I'm calling the other one because I had this in between. So then I did the same thing here, 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 here. Of course, we're calling for the we're calling the menu, automatic menu, right? To the that's the footer. And then you got your script, and the script remains the same. You don't have to put it in HTML because that's the stuff that runs outside of the PHP tags because it's not PHP, it's JavaScript. In JavaScript, I kept it the same way. That's all you do. And this is how you make your website completely dynamic. And when you look at it, like when you go to the view, I click view page source. It looks like an HTML page. That's it. See? All the HTML stuff. You don't see the PHP stuff. Isn't that great, man? There's a lot of things you can do. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about because I told you before, I think a few videos ago, that I was going to do it all in PHP, and I did, and that's how it's done. First of all, this particular file, I'm going to put it in the description, and you'll be able to get to it, okay? Thank you very much. I know it's short, but I just wanted to push that right out and to let you know that it could be done, just like I showed you that everything is boxes, okay? All right, man. So thank you very much. If you did learn something from it, don't worry. I'm going to put this in the link. You'll get to it and you'll look at it, play with it, and you can do it, do the thing, do the same thing with your stuff. Give me a like. Please subscribe to my channel because that do help me. Until next time, good night.